Welcome to another transformation video. This is the starting canvas that I had to work on today, and I decided to try a technique where I follow a colour pattern and I just kind of swap that pattern as I go along here. So I'm going to start at the back with an angled section, and I chose to do a 4-colour colour melt. I always like to start by pulling out the section of the hair and painting the perimeter of that section. Then I'll take my hand underneath the section and swipe side to side with my brush. And I'm just using my fingers here to sort of blend that through as well, so that I'm not going to get a really harsh line. See how it's kind of feathered? And now I'm going to go over the top of that a little bit, so there's a bit of an overlap here. So I'm overlapping the pink onto where I've just blended out that purple. And then I'm doing the same thing again with my fingers, just kind of pulling it down so that I've got a nice jagged edge, and then I will put the next colour on top of the magenta. See, that's a nice jagged line. So it's already blended, and then I'm just going to go overlap that a little bit again. Now here I'm applying the grey. And then the same thing again. So it's keeping everything really blurred, avoiding any harsh lines at all. And I am overlapping my colours slightly. That, I think, is really the key here with this colour melting stuff, is the overlap. And you will find that you will sort of subsequently make additional colours by doing that, which just adds to the result. So for the next section, I'm going to follow the same kind of order of the colours, but I'm going to start from the magenta colour here. So we're sort of moving down one. And I'll just keep doing that. Every section that I do, I'm going to move it down one. So it'll be pink, grey, green, and then purple will be down the bottom. And if you keep an eye on the pattern, you'll sort of get to see the colours are shifting one row down every time I take a new section. It's a little bit confusing, but it's quite easy once you apply the first one, because then you've got that visual guide and you can sort of refer to that to keep track of where you're up to. And notice how much I'm actually wiping my hands here. So each time I apply a colour, I will use the towel and wipe it off my hands before I go and reach for the next colour. And that's just to stop the cross-contamination. And it's really important to be thorough when you're wiping your hands, because if you miss a little bit, you will know. And another thing I just want to talk to you about is these mesh sheets that you can see me using in here. And I'm really just using them to keep the sections separated. Although halfway through doing this, I sort of ran out and I just stopped using them, because these colours really weren't very bleedy at all. I could quite confidently place one section of colour on top of the other, and I had no sort of colour bleeding happening in there. So you'll see towards the end, I just completely take them out. I didn't think they were really necessary by the end. And here we go, changing those colours around again. See how I've just moved down, and now I'm starting at the top with the grey. And I'm following the same order, but we're just shifting that one colour at the top each time. Another thing I just want to draw attention to is my gloves. These are really not ideal. They are quite loose. I don't know if you can notice, but I accidentally bought myself a pair of large gloves, and I definitely should have got myself medium, because if you have big loose gloves like this and you're doing this kind of colour work, what often happens is you'll go to wipe the colour off your hands and you will miss a little bit, because there'll be a bit of colour hidden in one of the folds of your wrinkly gloves, and that can be a recipe for disaster. So highly recommend getting gloves that fit you well, not big loose ones like these. Once the colour was in the hair, I let it process for about 30 minutes. And I also did just take out all the mesh sheets because I didn't feel like they were necessary towards the end, and I wanted that really satisfying processing picture. So when it comes time for rinsing, cold water is a must. I always use cold water. And this is to stop any colour bleeding that might happen. So what I'll do is just rinse this hair really thoroughly, just with water. I don't use any shampoo. Once I feel like the colour is off the hair, that's when I'll go in and give it a scrub. And as you can see here, it is clearly not all out of the hair. So give it a scrub, then I'll rinse it again, and I will repeat this process a few times until there's nothing left in the hair. Then I'll condition and move on to drying. It's really amazing how blue this hair looks, because in actual fact I didn't really put any blue in it. I did the aqua green and the purple, and I think what's happened is the way that I've applied the colour, and as I've blended the colour, we've just sort of created that blue kind of tone. Also, what may have happened is as I rinsed it, I might have had some purple bleed over the aqua, which has given the appearance of a more bluey blue. And another thing to take into consideration was there was a lot more yellow towards the top of her hair than the bottom, so that has surely affected the way that the colours have come out as well. And here are the final results. Normally what I'll do after I curl it is just brush it out and take a few photos for the Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that that has been helpful. Bye bye.